asked my friend why girls always glow up after the breakup, and she said, nothing holds a woman back like a man.
I hate when I break up with a chick and she want to glow up. When I was dating you, you was a bum. All you did was wear my hoodies and Crocs. Now that we broke up, you single. Now you want to look good. You want to look thick for these other niggas in the street. I don't understand that. Every time I see my ex on social media now, I'm like, damn, did I make a mistake? Did I mess up? Cause she looking extra good. Cause when I was with her, she wasn't even posting nothing on social media. Now she posting every 5 minutes. I don't understand. Women glow up after breakups. Women look so good after breakups. I don't understand it.
You ever wonder why women glow up after leaving an emotionally immature or abusive relationship? Here's why. So basically, stress is stored energy, right? And when it's stored in our process, it wreaks havoc on our body, causing inflammation, weight gain, imbalance hormones, all the things. But when the stress is gone, your nervous system actually calms down. And your body starts to heal itself just naturally when the stress is gone. I've seen where clients' bodies begin to heal itself and they no longer have eczema, they no longer have autoimmune diseases, and like I've seen where their blood pressure and their sugar levels regulated. Yeah, stress, my mom would always say stress goes to the weakest part of your body, and I believe it. So it's really not a glow up, right? It's really your body
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For the returning subscribers, thank you so much, and if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, today I want us to hop in this topic, and the topic is why women glow up after a divorce or after a breakup. Sit back and let's learn together, and I'd love to hear your comments and opinions in the comment section. And without further ado, let us hop into it.
The best way to shit on a man that has disrespected you or anyone in general is to level up your life. I want you to level up so hard that your ex is going to have to get to know you again. I already talked about picking up new hobbies. I already spoke about leveling up your appearance. But now I want you to level up your mindset. This is what's going to help you build your self-worth and your self-respect, because you are going to have those nights where you're going to feel lonely, where you're going to feel sad, and you're going to want to call them again. And I need you to pause and wait before you even think about calling that man. I want you to take a nice warm bath or a nice warm shower. I want you to put on the most cutest or sexiest pajamas, put on your favorite perfume, make you a nice warm tea or a sleepy girl cocktail. Then I want you to wrap yourself in a nice warm blanket and take out your journal. Write down, who do you want to be in 2026? Write down, what does she look like? How does she dress? What are her wellness habits? What are her boundaries? What are her weekly routines? What is her career? Where does she live? How much money does she make? Now that you wrote all that down, from here on out, I want you to start moving like you are already that woman that you described in your journal. And eventually you do start becoming her. Write down words of affirmations or listen to words of affirmations. The more nice things you say to yourself, the more you believe them. Set boundaries. Learn when to say no. Learn to say, no, this is not how I want to be loved, and walk away. Keep promises to yourself, like your routines, your goals. This is going to help you build reliability and your confidence. And give yourself grace. You are going to make mistakes. You need to learn from them, not sit there and beat yourself up about them. Doing all this is going to help shift your mind from saying, I need approval, to saying, I know my own worth.
I heard a guy talking about how his ex blew up after they broke up, right? And he was like, it's crazy that guys will say stuff like this. He was like, where was all this energy when we were together? This girl then went to the gym. She lost weight. She doing good, looking good, feeling good, smelling good, all the things, right? He like, where was all this energy when we were together? Sir, you drained it. You drained it. When y'all were together, you drained her of her energy. Therefore, she had no energy to herself. She had no energy to pour into herself, to do all the things that she's doing now that you are no longer together. That should tell you that you were the problem. No, it wasn't an ex glow up. It wasn't a breakup glow up. It was a she got away from your ass, pulled that energy back, and start pouring into herself. Men will say stupid stuff like, where was all this energy? Guys, You were the problem. You drained it. You drained it. She didn't have none, okay? That's your answer. That's where it was. With you. With you. Now it's with her. All right, dang. Cut it out.
One of the reasons that women glow up after a divorce or a separation or just a breakup, it's because of the reclaimed energy and focus. You see, after a breakup, the mental energy once spent on overthinking is directed. Now the women they focus on themselves. You see a woman starts going to the gym, doing fitness, and then a woman starts taking care of her skin. She starts focusing on her career and hobbies, and there is no more emotional draining. So they have more time and motivation to level up. Reason number 2 as to why a woman glows up after a breakup is stress detox. And stress detox equals physical glow. You see, when a woman is in a toxic relationship, the toxic relationship spikes up cortisol, and which messes up with the skin, sleep, and weight. That's why sometimes you see a woman who is in a toxic relationship, she has insomnia, like she's not sleeping well. The skin has pimples and rashes, because most of the time the skin tells us how we are, if we are mentally okay. Like if you just want to know if someone is okay, just look at the skin. And we are not talking about the breakdown of the skin that happens once a month. We're talking about when the skin shows that you are just stressed. So you see, when you are in a toxic relationship, the cortisol is spiked, and you can't sleep well. You either gain a lot of weight or lose weight, and once that stress is gone, you see the inflammation will drop, and the results will be clear skin and better sleep and less bloating. So that's the reason number 2 as to why women glow up after a divorce or after a breakup. Reason number 3 is identity reset. You see, most of the times women in relationships or marriage, they tend to shrink themselves. They tend to shrink their style, their personality, to keep peace, because most of the times their personality and their style, like, they don't match the relationship, and they have to shrink themselves so that relationship can work. But when the women break up and now get out of that relationship, that is the time that they reinvent themselves. You see the woman now has new hair, wardrobe, and she even sets new boundaries, and that's one of the reasons as to why women glow up. And because of this, she remembers who she was and who she was before, and upgrades herself. That's the reason as to why women glow up after a divorce or after a separation. Reason number 4, social re-expansion. You see, sisterhood is very important in we ladies, in we women, because they really help us when we are fighting through something, when we are going through something. And when you see, when breakups happen, women often reconnect with their friends, with their families, and they reconnect with even their hobbies and communities they neglected. Because sometimes you find that when you are in a relationship, you have to pour out more. Like, you are so busy that you don't remember your friends. You don't really have time. Don't really have enough time for your friends or even the sisterhood. But when the breakup happens, you have all the time. So you have now more social time, and more social time equals to more laughter and more movements. And you see, in that process of reconnecting with your friends, with their community, you build more confidence in yourself, and because that's the place where you feel seen and supported. And obviously, when you have confidence and there is more laughter and you don't have a lot of stress, you will automatically glow up. Reason number 5, revenge glow. The revenge glow. You see, most of the time when women break up with their spouses, or they get out of their relationship that they had stayed for long, or whatever period of time that they had stayed, they always say to themselves, I'll show him what he lost, I'll show him who I was before I met him. And that's how it starts. But when the motivation keeps going, the women realize that I'm not actually doing this to prove him wrong, I'm actually doing this for me. And you find in that situation, they tend to love themselves more, they tend to work out more, they tend to take care of themselves more, they tend to just up their game and upgrade themselves, especially in self-love. And that's why it's called the revenge glow. They are like, when the time that I was in that relationship, I was not doing this for myself. So now that I'm out of it, now that I am okay mentally, so I'm going to love myself more. And that's why women glow up after a separation or after a divorce. Reason number 6, financial and decision autonomy. Yes, you see, after divorce, there is no one controlling the woman's money. There's no one controlling her time, there's no one controlling her space. Maybe when she was in a relationship, she was maybe she would have been discouraged on using the finances to do something that maybe would have benefited her. Maybe whatever she would have done or to herself would look like she was wasting finances, like she was not being cautious with her finances. But now that she's out of the relationship, she's not compromising on her self-care, she's not compromising on her vacations and even and the therapy that she needs. And that's why you find women glowing up after a divorce. Reason number 7, the women's boundaries get sharp. Yes, you see, at times pain can be a very good teacher. Like when you go through pain, the pain teaches you to have higher standards. And after breakup, most women they tend not to tolerate disrespect. Like they tolerate less disrespect and invest more in themselves, and that brings a lot of confidence, because they are like, I have gone through this disrespect, and this is how it felt, these are the consequences of me tolerating the disrespect. They just know what the disrespect costed them, and now their standards are so high, and they don't want to go back there. And that's why they're now more confident. And obviously when you're confident, you will look nice, you will love yourself more, and you will automatically attract the right people in your life.
Yo, if you see her glow up after your breakup, don't be mad. You were the reason for that. She's happy now. She's chilling.
You ever notice how a woman moves differently when she finally experiences a real man? Not just a dude who talks a good game, but a man who is the game. A man who doesn't just promise peace, he is peace. A man whose presence alone makes her breathe easier because she knows she's safe, respected, and cherished. You don't have to guess when a woman has found that type of man. You see it. She's lighter. She's glowing. She's not out here moving in survival mode, waiting on her next betrayal. She ain't checking his phone, questioning his loyalty, or constantly having to remind him how to be a man, because he already knows. But let's flip this. If your woman is always stressed, always questioning, always carrying the emotional weight of the relationship, you might be the problem. A woman who is not secure in her relationship cannot be her softest, most feminine self. You expect submission, but what exactly is she submitting to? Chaos? Inconsistency? Emotional neglect? Real men don't just demand peace from a woman. They create it for her. They make it safe for her to exhale. And those men, the ones who carry weight without excuses, who move with integrity, who protect, provide, and lead without making it a performance, they deserve their flowers. Salute to the men who get it. And to the ones who don't, step up or step aside. And remember, ladies.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching till this end. If you feel like there's something that you'd love to add on top of what I have said, feel free to comment in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and let us grow together. And that is where I wind up this video, and I hope that you have learned a lot, and let's meet next time. Bye.